Colonel Assimi Goita, head of Mali's military junta, has made a significant move by promoting himself to the rank of Army General, a rare and prestigious title in the country's military history. This promotion places Goita among an elite group of only 2 other former heads of state in Mali who have held the same rank. The decision to elevate his military status comes amid a broader trend of consolidating power within Mali's ruling junta, as 5 key members were also promoted to 4-star generals. These promotions reinforce the influence and control of the junta, leading many to speculate about the group's intentions for Mali's political future.
Now, the head of the military junta that seized power in Mali in 2020 promoted himself on Wednesday to the rank of Army General with special title Colonel Assimi Goita of the Land Army, the highest military distinction held only by 2 former heads of state in the country's history. The move.
Mali, a nation that has faced political instability, insurgencies, and external pressures, has been under the control of the military since Goita and his fellow officers staged a coup in August 2020. The initial move was framed as a necessary intervention to restore order and address widespread dissatisfaction with the previous administration. However, the military's continued hold on power and the lack of a clear roadmap toward a democratic transition has raised concerns, both within Mali and internationally. The promotions, particularly Goita's, have sparked debate among political analysts and experts. One such expert, Rida Layamuri from the Policy Center for the New South, sees these promotions as a clear signal that Mali's junta leaders are planning to remain in power for the foreseeable future. There is no set timeline for the promised presidential elections, which were initially discussed following the coup but have since been postponed multiple times. For many observers, the recent developments suggest that the junta is solidifying its grip on power rather than preparing to hand it over to civilian leadership. In the broader context of West African politics, Goita's actions align with a growing trend of military takeovers and the slow return to civilian rule in several countries. While Mali's leadership has positioned itself as a protector of national sovereignty and stability, the prolonged military rule raises questions about the future of democracy in the region. Neighboring countries, like Burkina Faso and Guinea, have experienced similar political shifts, and these movements are often viewed with apprehension by international organizations like ECOWAS, Economic Community of West African States, and the African Union, which have repeatedly called for a return to civilian-led governance. These developments not only impact Mali's internal politics, but also its international relationships. Western nations, particularly France, have played a significant role in Mali's security apparatus, especially in counter-terrorism operations in the Sahel region. However, tensions between Mali's junta and France have escalated, with the junta accusing the former colonial power of meddling in Mali's affairs. In response, the junta has sought to diversify its alliances, reaching out to non-Western nations for military support and economic cooperation. Russia, in particular, has emerged as a key partner, with reports of increased Russian military assistance and the presence of Wagner Group mercenaries in the country. The decision to promote Goita and his key allies may also have a symbolic element. By elevating themselves to such high military ranks, they reinforce the idea that the military is the ultimate guardian of Mali's sovereignty and security. This perception is important, given the ongoing threat of extremist groups in the northern and central parts of the country. While the Malian military has made significant gains in combating these groups, the situation remains fragile, and the prospect of a power vacuum or political instability could embolden insurgents. Despite the junta's rhetoric of stability and national unity, there is growing frustration among segments of the Malian population. Many had hoped that the military's intervention would lead to swift reforms and a return to democracy. Instead, the delay in holding elections and the apparent entrenchment of military rule have left some questioning whether the junta is genuinely committed to transitioning power. Public protests and civil society groups have begun to voice their dissatisfaction, although the junta has thus far maintained tight control over dissent. It's important to note that not all Malian citizens are opposed to the junta's leadership. Some view Goita and his colleagues as necessary figures in Mali's turbulent political landscape, particularly given the failures of previous civilian governments to address corruption, economic stagnation, and insecurity. For these supporters, the promotions are seen as a positive step toward ensuring that the military remains a stabilizing force in the country. In the middle of this debate about Mali's future, one thing remains clear. The actions of the junta, particularly Goita's self-promotion to general, will have lasting implications for the country's political trajectory. Whether these promotions signify a permanent military rule or a calculated step toward securing power before a return to civilian governance remains to be seen. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more updates and insights on political developments across Africa. We bring you in-depth analysis, the latest news, and expert opinions on the events shaping the continent's future. As Mali navigates these uncertain times, the role of international actors will also be crucial. ECOWAS has maintained a stance of encouraging dialogue and pushing for a return to constitutional order. However, their efforts have been met with resistance from the junta, which argues that the country needs time to rebuild its institutions before holding elections. This delicate balancing act between appeasing external pressures and maintaining internal control will likely continue to define Mali's political climate in the coming months and years. The promotions within the junta are also significant because they send a message to both Mali's population and the international community. They signify that the junta is here to stay, at least for now, and that the military remains the central power broker in the country. For those hoping for a swift return to civilian rule, this development is a setback, but for the junta's supporters, it is a sign of strength and continuity. In the coming months, all eyes will be on Colonel Assimi Goita and his leadership team as they navigate the complexities of governing a country in transition. Whether they will heed calls for elections or continue to consolidate power remains uncertain. However, one thing is clear. The promotions to general and four-star general are not just military formalities. They are part of a broader strategy to maintain control and influence over Mali's future. As we watch how the situation unfolds, it's important to stay informed and engaged. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button and follow our channel for more insights. Stay tuned for our next video, where we will explore the latest developments in Mali and beyond, providing you with the most accurate and up-to-date information.